Nona's here with me for correct pronunciation. And you know, to authenticate our Italian cheesecake that I'm gonna show you how to make. It's Christmas time, we're festive. Check Nona's brooch. Nona? She's so cute. So the deal with Italian cheesecake is it's a little bit different. It's special. The texture's different, the flavor's different. And one of the reasons is because we are not using American cream cheese as typical cheesecakes would. We are using, what kind of cheese, None?
Ricotta.
Very nice. That's what we're doing. So that's the main part of this. There's also sour cream, which is not typical in many Italian households, right? It's not really typical, but that's what we're using. And we are flavoring it. You can flavor it any way you want, but we are using Amarena cherries. Right, Non?
Amarena.
Amarena. Now, I'm gonna taste one to you, but I'm gonna show you actually. See, look. They're dark. There's a syrup, so it's sweet, right? And I'm gonna taste it. It's like, oh, I dropped a little drop, no worries. They're soft. They have like a little bit of a bitterness to it, but a good bitterness, right? So you know how it's like just gets to the back of your throat, but it's a dark cherry flavor. It's very good. They're beautiful cherries, and they're gonna cut so beautifully and well. I did share what the final look is of the cheesecake. There is no crust. It is awesome, and we're just gonna get to it. So before I let Nona go, we used a whole milk ricotta.
See.
Now, what's hilarious about it is this can also be a reusable container for Nonas, right? I mean, what Nona doesn't have one of these inside as like a Tupperware, right?
Correct.
Right. So they come in 2 pounds. Almost all of this ricotta, like how it's packaged, whole milk comes in 2 pounds. But I only need 1.5 pounds. So what I've done is, I don't need a cheesecloth. I put it all in, what do you call this?
A strainer.
A strainer, yeah. In a paper towel, I put it in and then is strained for about 4 hours. You could also do it overnight. This is overnight. Then I'm going to weigh it and I'll show you how it's done. So, Nona,
Yes.
I love you.
Ciao.
I'm gonna make the cheesecake.
Ciao.
Ciao. Okay, friends, we are ready. We are going to make an Italian ricotta cheesecake with tart black cherries from Italy that are called Amarena cherries, all right? So I'm gonna show you all the stuff that we have ready to go, and we have prepped our ricotta cheese. It has strained in a paper towel and it's just hung out so that all the extra liquid comes out, and that's when you're ready to put this together. I'm ready, let's do it. Okay, me and my socks and sandals are ready, shall we? Here is our strained cheese, all right? Here is our prepared pan. Now, not like regular, we are actually using panko breadcrumbs, all right, for this. So instead of flour, you use the panko breadcrumbs, which are Japanese. So it's kind of fun to put together a little Japanese and Italian as my family is, right? We have our cherries, all right? The imported cherries that have been strained because we want that liquid, all right? I have sugar, I have flour, I have coarse salt, I have eggs. I have sour cream. I have a lemon for zesting. Do this. So before we start, I want to show you that I'm not using a spring foam pan. I'm using an 8-inch cake pan. It is tall, all right? You see it's 3 inches tall. I have sprayed or buttered. You could choose your liking, whatever you like. I have put paper at the bottom because that's what I do with my work and I like that result. And I have sprinkled it with panko breadcrumbs, all right? So it's set and ready to go. Before I start cracking my eggs, I want to measure my ricotta cheese, all right? How am I doing that? Well, it's 2 pounds of cheese. Look at, I can see my reflection, that's hilarious. And I need 1.5 pounds. So I'm gonna set this up and I'm going to take it right out. This is what it looks like when it's coming right out of the paper that's been strained, okay? And I'm going to just measure it up. It's gonna be almost all of it, but with baking, Your moisture precision is important. Sorry about my clumsiness as I fumble around. Moisture precision is important. So we want to make sure that we are measuring this properly. And you know, you can see the real deal. This is messy. All right. Keep going. We want kind of almost all of it. And I'm making a mess, and that's fine because this is real, okay? This is the real deal. I am messy sometimes. It is what it is. All right, let's see what we have there. Almost there. So we want almost all of it. Okay, so look at my messy fingers. So you can see without any moisture, this is all that I have left, and this is my 1.5 pounds. This is what I want. All right, so let's get our eggs cracking. I'm not sure if I'm cool enough to crack them one-handed for you, you know, to impress you. I'm just kidding. But let's try. So I need 6 eggs. All right, there's 1. Oh man, I'm feeling it today. 2. Let's try to do double because it's fun. 3, 4. Oh man, I am feeling it. Can you tell I've done this a few times? 5, 6. Beautiful. Okay, we're gonna get our whisk together. I'm gonna use a whisk attachment, but before I do that, I'm just gonna go ahead and add the sugar. And this is calling for 3/4 cup of sugar. So let's just add that in. A 1, a 2, a 3. All right. So I'm going to use my whisk attachment, put it on my standing mixer, and I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. Mix that for just over a minute, and you can see how frothy and nice it is. And I did add a pinch of salt. When I say pinch, I mean like this much. Pinch of salt while it was mixing. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is add our dairy products. So first thing is the cheese that we have measured. So there's the ricotta cheese. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and use my whisk and whisk that in, and let's see what that looks like. While that's mixing, I'm gonna zest a lemon. I'm doing it over a paper towel because I can see what is coming out, and that way, you know, if you ever get the butt in there or anything, you know what I mean, then you're good. My kids just came home from school, so my dogs are barking excitedly. There's your zest. Okay, our ricotta cheese is mixed in. All right, our lemon has been zested. Our sour cream is already measured because we are going to use 2 cups of sour cream, and I'm just going with 16 ounces. See, just use that package. 16 ounces is 2 cups. So while we're at it, I'm gonna go ahead and add the almond extract now. I just use a cap. Now I'm gonna go for my 2 cups of sour cream. Easy breezy. All right, pre-measured. I mean, come on, how nice is that? All right. And then I'm gonna add my zest of 1 lemon, which looks to me about, let's say it's a tablespoon of lemon zest if you want to get particular. All right. Now, I just use this to kind of break it down a little bit. I'm going to set that aside for just a second before I mix it, because I need 1/3 cup of the syrup that we're going to have from here. All right. So the cherry syrup, I'm going to set these aside, and I'm just going to measure out 1/3 cup in here. All right, let's see. Nice. That's it. I'm going to put the rest of this syrup back in the jar because I will use it for other things later in my life. And you can see I'm just going to pour it right in. Lovely. Okay. Nice. All right, so I'm going to mix this and then I'll show you what it looks like. All right, it is all mixed together. Okay, the last ingredient we're gonna go with is flour. I'm gonna use all-purpose. If you are gluten-free, you should just use a 1-to-1 ratio gluten-free flour replacement. It calls for 1.5 cups of flour, so I'm going to mix in 1/2 cup at a time. All right, so it's gonna do this 3 times. And I will show you what it looks like when all the flour is combined. This is our cheesecake batter. The flour, there's not much of it, is more of a stabilizer for this. So it's just gonna taste just like a cheesecake, but it is a hybrid because we have flour. So this is it, we're gonna pour it in. Let's do it. So I'm gonna put this right here and I'm gonna pour it all in. This again is an 8-inch pan and it's gonna be a nice and tall cheesecake. All right, so that looks fantastic. It's pretty high up, so I'm gonna end up putting it with something at the bottom, like a cookie sheet at the bottom so that it doesn't overdo it. I wanna disperse all the weight in the middle because you know how that is when it's kind of poured heavy in the middle, so that's what we're gonna do. And then we are going to plop down our cherries. You do not need a specific measurement of cherries. You're just gonna kind of place your cherries so that every slice has at least a couple in them. So this is what I'm doing. I'm just kind of plopping them down. Some of it's strategic, some of it is not. I'm probably gonna use more than this. I do have more. This is just what I strained for our juice that we needed. And I'm going to actually push them down so that they kind of float inside. It makes for a beautiful slice. And with one package, one container of these cherries, you're gonna have plenty to put on top as well, which is nice. So let me pour a little bit more. Let me get a little bit more of these guys in there. These are already partially strained. There's some juice, it's fine. Actually, you know what? I do want to strain it because I don't want to add more moisture. It's kind of my rule. What I've learned along the way, being a baker for many years, you got to control the moisture. Oh, and I got to control the wobble. Sorry about that. Okay. So again, this is a personal preference. You put as many as your heart desires. This is what my heart desires. So I'm just gonna push down. Okay. And then when you are cutting into this, you want a sharp knife because you could slice through some of these cherries easily. Like they're soft and firm enough, it's a weird combination. Like they're stable enough that you can slice right through and it just makes such a beautiful cut. It's impressive to me and it looks delicious and it tastes delicious. All right, so you're not really gonna see any of these little colors, but I'm just gonna swirl it in anyways, and that's it. We're gonna put this in. It does not need a water bath because it is stable enough with the flour. It's kind of genius, actually. So I'm just gonna put a cookie sheet under this. My oven is at 350. Almond is an essential flavor for Italian baking, and it tastes so good with this cheesecake, and it's just gonna accentuate the flavors of the cherries and all that stuff. It's just a must. So I'm very stoked that it tastes this good and it's safe. Side note, I just wanted to tell you that the products and ingredients that I'm using are because I want to. I'm not sponsored in any way, and I'm using what I like and what I want to use at home. And I also wanted to make note about the use of almond extract. McCormick, for example, is completely free of peanuts and tree nuts because they use apricots to make the almond flavor. So I'm keeping it authentically nut-free, just as I do in my business, because my son is severely allergic, and that's just how I do it for everybody else too. This is about halfway through baking. This is what it's looking like. Looking nice. Okay, our cheesecake is complete. Look at it. It is so big and puffy and fantastic. Now it will, okay, Saj, it will settle down a little bit. I'm gonna let it completely cool before I take it out. What was I gonna say? I gotta start all over again. This guy. And it is done. I checked it at an hour, and it turns out for my oven at 350 degrees, it was an hour and 20 minutes for my little tester to come clean. As you can see, it's big and puffy and delicious and delightful. It is gonna settle down just a little bit. Once it cools, at room temperature, I'm gonna take it out, I'm gonna chill it, and we're gonna slice in and enjoy. Oh. I like a little powdered sugar and a couple extra little cherries on top because it's so beautiful and it tastes amazing. And I hope you make this. I hope you make this, or at least try, and if you have any questions, just send a message or something. That's it.
Where's the hat? Where's my hat? Oh, here it is. So that's what it looks like. And then a hat.
The sun is going down and we have ourselves cheesecake. Look at it. Italian cheesecake. It looks really good. Do you see how it hasn't really dipped a lot? Like, this is fantastic. We're gonna cut into it. All right. It's a little bit warm. It's not totally cold, but fine. I'm gonna go for it right here. Oh my goodness. The texture, like, when I put my knife into it, it feels so good. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it's satisfying to cut into. Sachi's here and she wants a slice, and I said, let's do it then. Yeah. All right, let's see what it looks like when it comes out. Oh yeah. Look at how great that looks. Oh my gosh. Okay, and then look inside. The cutie patooties inside here. I kind of pushed some of them down a little much, but who cares? It looks amazing. Okay, so now to finish it off, we are going to powder it because it's delicious. Let me put this knife away before someone gets hurt. Okay, let's make it snow. Yes. Oh my gosh. This is delightful. That looks like a good amount of snow. All right, now a little bit of cherries on top. So all the rest of the cherries and syrup that I had left from the other jar, I just put in this jar. So yeah, I do have 2 jars. Yeah. Oh, that's fine. That is just fine. We don't even care. Put a little syrup on there. Look at that, you guys. Wow. I'm so happy with this. It feels like Christmas, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. It looks like Christmas. So my mouth's watering a little bit, but this piece is for Sachi, so I'm gonna let her cut into it and let her tell us what she thinks about this. Yeah. It's been fine. It's been fun. Later. Did we do good?
Yeah, that's really good.
Is it better than regular cheesecake?
Yeah. I like how almondy it is, and that's kind of spongy.
Yeah, it is spongy. Let's look at the texture. Wow. That's beautiful. Mm-hmm. Oh man, that's so satisfying. I'm gonna have to taste it.